Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well. It's Jay here, and welcome to this, our Monday Night Live. I say our, it truly is ours, yours and mine, not just mine. I'm just moving that way a bit, if you don't mind. Sorry about that. I hope everybody is groovy. I'm sorry for a slight late start, around 30 seconds, but the trains, they're really going for it outside tonight, and it's quite noisy. Might be a good time to remind Matthew that it would be nice to move at some point in the nearest future. Yeah, might start that one again soon. So how are you all? Thank you for being here. And I tell you why I really appreciate you being here as well. If you're from the UK in particular, your countdown, Tony, is way, you are 9, 8, come on, catch up. Hi Hadwins, who are currently sailing, and people are groovy. I appreciate you being here even more this evening, because certainly in the UK we've had some gorgeous weather, and if you're from the UK, you'll understand this. The minute the weather starts feeling like summer is on the way, everyone goes crazy. No one's home. Everyone's out and about. They're having barbecues. They're outside in beer gardens. They're wearing nothing more than bikinis, the men included. And they're never home, and they're not on their screens. They're just in the sunshine. So as beautiful as it is, and it's going to be for the remainder of the week here, thank you for sharing an hour with me, chewing the cruise and travel fat. It is, it sounds gross when I say that. I do appreciate it. And I also appreciate the fact that some of you are calling in, hello, calling in from around the globe and on cruises by the looks of it as well. There you go. Katie and Ryan have just said 22. So people around the world would be like 22 degrees Celsius. Is that all? It's like, you know, don't judge us. For us at this time of year, that's like scotcha. We'll take it. We will. And it's going to be much warmer, isn't it, later this week? Certainly on Wednesday. If I could ask you just to hold fire with any questions or shout outs for now, that would be appreciated, because I'm not likely to see them just now. We also have, I want to welcome Susanna Schultz. I hope I said that correctly. Susanna has been messaging me on Instagram over the last week in German, and I don't speak German or read German very well at all, but we've muddled through. I haven't had to use translators, and I've just about understood what Susanna is saying to me, and I've seen that she's here this evening with us. So if anyone could turn on the German translator and help out, that would be awesome. But she's been very kind indeed. So, and welcome indeed to anybody who hasn't been here before. I'll stop yaddering now. Please do give this a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. It's good for my self-esteem. Nothing to do with algorithms or anything like that. It's just good. It's just good to know that we're all loved here. Everyone's loved here. And whilst I'm yaddering away, it'll be great if you could just pop in the chat how you are doing. We always say a 1 out of 10 is needing an immediate check-in, and our community is awesome, and they will always check in on you. Some of you then check in with each other behind the scenes, which is lovely, all the way up to a 10. I haven't thought of what a 10 would be. A 10 would be this, like me going back to Hawaii, feeling the aloha love. Absolutely. So let's see how we're all doing on this fine Monday evening. Last week, you were really mixed, weren't you, folks? You might remember a real mixture, like up and down, and I was going to make it my mission to cheer y'all up. I'm not sure I managed, but hopefully we'll spend a nice quality hour together, won't we? And again tonight, look, very mixed indeed. I see some 9s coming through. Liv could eat a shaggy dog's tail. Couldn't we all, my darling? I did cook Matthew a dinner of some description when I got back from school. I'm at school this week, my old school, because it's the Year 11's final Spanish speaking exams, and I'm conducting them for my old group, the group that I just left high and dry when I decided to do a vapid job like YouTubing, for example. Day 1 gone very well. Just in case any of them are out there, well done I was very proud of you and what you managed to achieve today. It's very difficult doing your speaking exams, I know, but well done. And if you're on here, someone said, one of the girls said to me today after the exam, "Oh, how was Wicked?" I'm like, "How do you know I went to see Wicked at the weekend?" "Oh, yeah, we know all of this." And another student said, "Oh, my mum heard you on the radio when she was in the car this week on BBC Berkshire." I'm like, okay. They know everything. These kids, they know everything. They're super clever. They're super smart, aren't they? Thank you for the thumbs up. I just saw them go, that's really kind of you. So yeah, I'm at school this week helping out. Apart from Wednesday, that's going to be my day off this week. Right, so whilst you are checking in with one another, Simon says he's got a colleague watching with him this evening. You wouldn't approve of the dinner I'm preparing. Mackerel. Oh, I'm not even going to read the rest of that. No, you can keep your smelly old fish to yourself, but I hope you enjoy that. And you're actually putting a friend through that as well. I hope they like mackerel. Does your friend like mackerel? I feel bad for them. They need to come over here. I'll make them something different. I absolutely will. And thank you. Yes, some of you are saying you're watching my Disney vlog as well. That's great. It's only an hour and a half. So whilst you are chatting amongst yourselves, I just wanted to mention that I won't be here next Monday. We've just done 2 consecutive Monday night lives, which is great. I'm not here next Monday. I will be joining MSC Virtuosa for a Northern European cruise. It's only 5 nights. It was very good value. I don't know if they still got cabins available. If they have, I imagine they are still very good value. Heading to Zeebrugge, Rotterdam, and also to Cherbourg. I haven't planned anything for those ports. If you've watched me, you'll know I've been to those ports 1,000 times. I feel like I want to be sort of more involved with the ship for this particular cruise and for the vlog. So I haven't decided what to do yet in those ports. If anything, I might just, if the weather's nice, I might spend my time in the water park or something, or around the rope course. You know, I love doing all of that. I love me ropes, don't I? And I love getting wet with all that salty water in the water park. So I won't be here for that. Don't forget though, folks, apart from the thumbs up here, we can follow each other on Facebook. It's Jamie W. Robbins, all one word there. If you want to go in and seek me out, seek and you shall find. And I'm also on Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads at Travel Blog Jamie. You can get your personalized video messages. I did a lovely one today. I was quite pleased with it, actually, as a surprise for someone. If you want a personalized video message for yourself, for a loved one, maybe somebody you don't like and needs roasting, I'm all yours. Mother's Day, I'm sure Mother's Day is coming up in America. Is that right? Canada? Have I got that right? Somewhere. We've had it in the UK. Mother's Day messages and all that sort of stuff. I'm your man. Cameo.com/travelblog Jamie. I'm also on Patreon with 630 gorgeous patrons. Patreon.com/travelblog Jamie. I'm everywhere. All right. But not on TikTok. I'm too old for TikTok, I think. That's pushing it too far. So maybe one day, but not yet. Also, thank you so much for the love for the Disney vlog I released at the weekend. It is officially the longest one ever. True. Biggest one ever. An hour and a half. And I didn't want to split it into 2 because I would have just been doing it for the sake of it, if I'm honest with you, and spreading out, releasing the vlogs. Release the vlogs always reminds me of release the Kraken. And I kind of felt like I didn't want to do that. I thought I'm going to make it like a feature-length vlog. So it's an hour and a half. Some of you have watched it in chunks, which is very sensible. I had a message from somebody who said, I don't like the longer ones, vlogs that is, because I can't always watch them in one go. I'm like, why don't you just stop and then go back to it? Like if you were watching anything on, a series on TV, on like Netflix, they release all the episodes in one go. Like you don't have to watch them all in one go, do you? So you have the choice then. And some of you, God bless you, sat down one evening, Saturday or Sunday, with a bottle of wine or 2 or 3 or 4, some nibbles, and you said you watched it as if it was like a feature-length documentary or film, which was lovely. So I'm glad people are enjoying it. Someone's watching it whilst watching this. That's like multitasking aroma, isn't it? I'm impressed with that. And I enjoyed editing that very much. Coming next, I have the cabin tour, because there's a lot to show there. It's an accessible cabin if you have seen the first vlog, so lots to talk about there. And then the following vlog will be actually the disembarkation day, when I went to a day room in a great hotel with awesome facilities at Miami Airport, and the flight home as well. I'm filming my interview with Matthew this weekend. I've collated loads of questions from people from over the weeks, and he's had a look through. He's ready. I don't think there's a single question that he won't answer either. So that's great. We're going to film that this weekend, and I'll have that ready for you hopefully next week to release. And in fact, out of all the interviews I've done with vloggers or anybody and on YouTube, the old one I did with Matthew is the most watched of all the interviews, which I think is lovely. So I was saying this to him, and he was like, oh, that's good, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, if you beat this vlogger and that vlogging couple, you just pounded them into the ground. So he's happy with that. I can see people are saying happy birthday to Lost Ashore, otherwise known as Victoria. You will notice, Victoria, in case you haven't got there yet, I have wished you happy birthday on FaceAche on this occasion. Okay, I'm not wishing you happy birthday on every single bloody platform out there, my darling, but I wish you a happy birthday here. I've got squash because I'm a good boy and I'm at school, so that doesn't stop me normally, but cheers to you and happy birthday. Are you 31? Have I got that right? I don't know why I thought it was 31. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, some of you have been binge watching. I love a bit of binge watching. I'm like that with the Real Housewives of anywhere in America. Right. So, the Disney vlog. I'm glad it's going down well. I'm glad you're managing the length of it. And I think I made it very clear in that vlog that I absolutely love my time on board Disney Magic. Still my favorite Disney ship. Still the best for adults only venues on board, but I really wanted to book another Disney cruise the minute I got off, and I have been looking high and low, and I have booked one. So I have booked what will be the brand new Disney Adventure, which is launching this December. It will be the 8th ship in the fleet, and its home port is going to be Singapore. And I haven't been to Singapore yet, and I've been wanting to go forever. So I booked that. Yeah, I'm going to go to Singapore. It's March, and I'll spend a few nights there. I can't wait. There's loads of things that I already know I want to do in Singapore, and places I want to stay, and hotels, etc. And then there'll be a 3 or 4 night, I can't remember, cruise on Disney Adventure, what will be Disney's newest and largest ship. It will be the only ship of its type for Disney as well, for all sorts of reasons I won't go into now, but they essentially, it was a ship that it was never finished. It was going to be scrapped, actually. And it was a ship that had capacity for 9,000 passengers. So Disney bought this for, I can't remember what it was, 40 million or something. I think they got it for a really good price for a ship of that size. And it's going to be the first Disney ship to be powered by methanol, by the way. As I said, the home port will be Southampton. Disney have redesigned parts of it, so it will no longer be a ship for 9,000 passengers. It's a lot of people. 6,000 instead. And for those of you thinking, oh my God, that's mental, then, like Pinot Iona, Avia, that kind of style of ship, they hold 6,000 odd passengers. So you'll get a sense of the size of it. So I like the fact that they've decided to take out some of the cabins that were originally planned and replace them with other venues. I'm pleased with that. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. But yeah, it's going to be called their global class of ship as well. So I'm really excited. It doesn't actually go anywhere from Singapore. It sails the ocean. It sails for 3 days, but it doesn't actually stop anywhere en route. It goes back to Singapore after. So I'm wondering if that's because it's such a large ship. It's a new home port. They're just settling in to see how things go with it before they start adding ports. I don't know, but I've done Seacations before and I love them. So for me, being on a brand new ship and such a large ship for 3 days without getting off means I have time to film things, hopefully, at a more leisurely pace and experience a little bit more. I'm not looking forward to trying to do a ship tour of that one, if I'm honest with you. I don't even know if I'll get one done, but I will try my best. I will try, I promise you. So there you go. That's the latest I've booked. And I'm now on the hunt for a cruise, maybe something land-based, for the end of this July and August. I haven't planned anything as of yet. Prices are pretty high for cruises this August anywhere around the world, or where I found some really good deals abroad, the flights happen to be more expensive, being summer holiday and so on. So I do get that. So I'm keeping my options open right now. But I've seen a really interesting Holland America cruise, an interesting Norwegian Cruise Line cruise, an interesting Fred Olsen cruise. There are options. Oh, and an interesting Cunard Queen Victoria cruise. There are always options, aren't there? So if anyone has seen anything fabulous, and for solo for this one, Matthew's leave is all gone for the year. If you see anything for a solo passenger that you think is really good value for the end of July and August, please do let me know. Either drop me a message separately or put something in the comments. I would very much love to hear from you. So I'm not actually gonna yada yada anymore. Normally we do half an hour of stuff, don't we? That's all I wanna message talk about for now. Now is absolutely, thank you for the thumbs up. Can we please get to 100 in the next 5 minutes? That would be awesome for my self-esteem. All right. Let's go. Let's hand over to you folks. If you have a question, please do type question, and I will do my best to answer your question. And if I can't, there's always somebody else around who can answer them. Also, if you have any shout outs, oh look, it's Mickey up there. Just realized, hi Mickey. If anyone has any shout outs they'd like, then please type shout out and I will shout out. Right, let's go. I can see Emma says, would love to see you try Holland America. The food looks awesome. Yeah, they have one in August, Emma. It goes to Iceland. It looks great. It's not bad value for 2 weeks of solo, but I'm also conscious that it costs a bit more when you're on board for 2 weeks as well on there. So I'm just weighing that up a little bit as well. Horses. Hi, Jamie. Question for you. Do you have to check small cases in when you embark Virtuosa, or can you can take small ones with you as long as they'll fit through the scanners? That's not a problem. Looking forward to a 2-night mini cruise this weekend. Yes, Virtuosa is back in the UK and starting off with that 2-nighter. Have fun. Absolutely. And says, love a Disney cruise. Question, but they're so pricey. Well, that depends, doesn't it? As I've said, if you have flexibility of time, they're not also pricey. I have the P&O Aurora cruise, as I mentioned, for 3 nights cost actually more than what I paid for the Disney cruise. So it depends if you have flexibility of time. If you're going to just sail out of the UK, I can tell you now they're really expensive. But they're not expensive all over the world. The one from Singapore, for example, there are some really good deals out of Singapore. You're going to say to me, you've got to book a flight. Yeah, but I'm going to make it into a whole holiday, you know. And the flight I found for Singapore is £600 return. Not bad at all. Looking forward to it. A huge amount. Adam said, I was wondering why Galveston's cruise terminal in Texas, why isn't it popular amongst bloggers and cruisers? I wouldn't say it's not popular. I just think it's not necessarily so easy to fly there. Well, you can fly there, right? But then you've got like a journey time on top of that to get to the port. I don't think there are as many cruise lines sailing out of there. I haven't necessarily seen better value cruises sailing out of there. I know there's an issue with being able to drink alcohol as well within a certain radius of leaving the port or something like that, or taxes. I can't remember what it was now. So that may have put some people off. I'm not put off at all. I have looked at Galveston and I know people there. I have friends there. I've got patrons there. I would love to head that way and to meet them. I'm going to be sailing out of Tampa for the first time Also, next month, that will be a new one for me. So I don't know. Is it not popular with vloggers, or is it just that they don't have as much choice? What's the best cruise line for Alaska? I don't think there's a best cruise line for anything. For Alaska, it depends what time of year you're going. It depends if you want lots of outdoor space, doesn't it? People often talk about Princess and Holland America being great for Alaska. Carl, you're welcome for your video. Are you coming to the meetup, Carl? Are you? I'm very harsh with our young Carl. He was supposed to come to the patron meetup last year, and he didn't turn up, and he didn't tell me he wasn't coming. He says he's coming on the next meetup. I'll be watching. Yes, woohoo! For those of you cruising this weekend, have a fabulous time. David says, where's the best place to park in Southampton 3 days? I don't think that, again, there's a best place. A lot of people use the official parking sort of areas around the cruise terminals and pay a fortune. Matthew and I always park in Eastgate car park, which is super cheap. And we've never ever had a problem there. So if you're doing short term, we would park at Eastgate. But again, it depends what's important to you, doesn't it? Ian, do you feel annoyed that there was a resolution to the cancelled post refit cruise, yet Malif is still unresolved? What was the resolution, Ian? I don't know what that was. I thought the resolution was that they cancelled it. They offered everyone their money back, which they should have, and then said 20% cruise credit. I wasn't aware of another resolution. So if you'd like to share that with us, that would be great. But also, I'd never be annoyed that there's a resolution for something and not something else. That's not how I operate. I think you lot should be more annoyed that they're that inconsistent, personally. But I don't get annoyed about things like that. I want people who've had an issue with a cruise line to have a resolution. That's the most important thing. So it wouldn't annoy me. But what else did they do other than the refund and stuff? Because all the people who've spent money on flights and hotels and pet care and all that sort of stuff, what happened with them? Devon Detcher, hey you, big blue box one. Thank you, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that very much. And you are standing out very much. So, Simon, what are the most popular themed cruises such as nature sport and cookery, etc.? Do you have any themed cruise travel ambitions? No. No. Themed cruises like that, I find they put the prices up of the cruise a little bit too much. Not all of them. Like we were actually on a themed cruise. It was a comedy cruise on Virgin Voyages last year, and I didn't go to see one comedy act at all because I wasn't interested in it. I suppose the CEO cruise on Ambassador later is not a themed cruise, but there will be that real focus on marine life. But again, it's not really a cookery. No themed travel ambitions here, if I'm honest with you. But cruise lines have certain themed nights, of course, which I sometimes will partake in. Like when Cunard did their masquerade ball kind of themed evenings. I love that kind of stuff. It was easy to prepare for. A lot of people took part. It was a lot of fun. I kind of prefer that sort of thing. It's not a natural theme, if that's okay. AWACS fan. A bit advanced, but any recommendations for overnight hotel in Portsmouth for the group cruise? So I've actually got, and someone might have to help me here. I stayed in Portsmouth last year in the summer, and I stayed in a hotel, and I can't remember the name of it. It was like the Maritime Hotel. If anyone knows, please post the answer. If you search Travel Blog Jamie Portsmouth, it will come up. It was a very reasonably priced hotel. The rooms were spacious, nice bar, and very, very close to Gunwharf Quays and so on. I thought it was fine, and I would stay there again. There's a Holiday Inn that's in Gunwharf Quays. That's quite a nice one as well, by the way. So, yes, sir, if someone can help, I'm sure it was like a maritime kind of hotel. I'd really appreciate it. I completely forgotten, but it's vlogged, okay? And it's never too advanced to think about those kind of things, ever. Rob, why has Pinot got rid of their staff bodies now have to queue and the queues get very long? Brody's. cutbacks. I don't know. People who have been coming back from P&O more recently, who have sailed with them for years, have, and including someone who loves them, by the way, has still been open and honest, said there are even more cutbacks now than there were. I think it's just very inconsistent, Rob. You know, some people have come back and said it was great and they didn't have lines, etc. Some people have come back and they've had a different experience. So just the lack of consistency. It will be money with P&O and Paul Ludlow. It's a business after all, isn't it? But sometimes it can be taken a little bit too far, I feel. Just my humble opinion. Maybe other people have got opinions and can answer Rob's question. Jane, who do you book cruises through? Direct. Always direct. No travel agents or cruise websites. I've used cruise websites before and got burned using those. Not like actually burned, thankfully. The one cruise website I use to look at what's available, although not every cruise line is included, a lot is Igloo. I've booked through Igloo before and it was a nightmare, and then they tried to resolve it and even that was a nightmare, so I gave up. However, I do use the website to filter and see what cruise lines are sailing out of whichever ports, and you can filter for like solo passenger and what have you, and it's just a very easy one to use, but I always book direct. Thank you. Dave for Alaska, check the 5 cruise lines allowed into Galicia Bay. Yep, that's a fair point as well. Jason, hi Jamie, we have only sailed with P&O as relatively new cruises. That's good. If you're a new cruiser and you're new to P&O, you won't have noticed all the cutbacks. Sailing from Southampton, who would you recommend we try next? I don't know, because I don't know your age bracket. I don't know what you look for in a cruise, but the cruises that have stood out for me over the last year have certainly, and for Matthew actually, has been Virgin Voyages, which was fantastic for both of us, and we both like very different things, and yet we were both able to find them on that ship. We were able to chill and to relax. There were loads of lovely areas to do that. I was able to do a little bit of partying. It just worked brilliantly for us. I love the entertainment on board. I love the food on board. The staff were amazing as well. So for me, they're pretty much up there as a breath of fresh air. I love Disney cruises, but I love them for the adults only areas, so that they wouldn't necessarily be for everyone. And on the other end of the spectrum, some of you will know what I'm going to say. I love Fred Olsen for their small ships, traditional, elegant cruising, amazing food, amazing staff. Generally, the cabins on the older ships are a little bit bigger as well. So those 3 cruise lines are completely different to one another, and yet I love all 3 of them for very different reasons. So if you can give me a bit more information on the kind of things you like, your age bracket, then that would be fantastic, and maybe we can all chip in and help out a little bit there. Mark, good evening to you, sir. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for answering a couple of my questions regarding Avia and Caribbean. New sub B here. We love a new sub. We're booked on Avia for East Caribbean in January. Fabulous. Love a bit of Caribbean cruising. I'm doing my next Caribbean cruise in November, back with Morella. I have to say, my best Caribbean cruise so far has been with Morella. It's true. Amazing ports, an extra port to most cruise lines. They don't waste any time on Morella. And the ship, it was just such a lovely atmosphere. It was sort of, it was in December, early December, so it was all ready for Christmas. Just such a good atmosphere. We had great weather. Love a bit of a Caribbean cruise. Lewis wants to know where you can get a Mr. Snaggletooth luggage label. You just need to go on Amazon. If you put in luggage emoji luggage labels, it will probably come up with a Mr. Snaggletooth for you, okay? Mark, flying with TUI from UK, not Malif, no, there's no more Malif with P&O. They're in all sorts of bother, Malif, and legal issues. There's a large group of people taking P&O to court as well about the whole issue that happened with them, a large group. I'm not one of them. Because I just want to keep asking them to respond, and I'm going to see how many years it takes. So far, it's 1.4 years, and they haven't been able to respond to anything. Let's just see how long it takes. I'm really not, Matthew and I are not in it for the conversation. We're owed it. We deserve it. but I just want to see how long it takes them to actually resolve the issue. I'm really pleased that a lot of other people are involved in that legal action. It's important, and they absolutely will win that. There are people who have taken them to court individually as well who messaged me and have won every time. And of course they would, because what's happening there is illegal. Margaret says they've done nothing. That's what I thought, Margaret. I don't know. The option of cash instead of cruise credit. Yeah, but the thing is, though, Ian, that's not necessarily going to pay for all the stuff that people already paid for. You know, there was massive backlash. I don't really think it's a great resolution personally. I think getting your money back is an absolute given. Some cruise credit or money back or extra money, I think, is an absolute given. But it's not going to pay for some people's hotels and transport and food and lodgings for their pets and so on. It won't. So I don't really think that's a resolution. Margaret said they've done nothing. I've asked for the upgrade that we should have, but no, they're not helping themselves. Going on Venture in June, see what we can do face to face. Okay. Right. I don't want to keep talking about Pinot now, if that's all right, folks. So I'm not being funny nor anything, but if there's any Pinot stuff, I'm going to move on, because we always seem to go around in circles with Pinot. And I think what I feel is very well documented about the management and leadership and how they treat people when there's an issue. So I'm just going to push that aside now. There's a lot of other more popular, bigger cruise lines as well that we can talk about. Holiday Have you visited Istanbul? Yes. Top 2 tourist attractions. So if you want to have a look, it was on my Morella vlog from the summer. And if you just search Travelvlog Jamie Morella and put in Turkey and Greece, it will come up. I actually did an entire day's tour there, so I don't have a top 2 for you, if I'm honest. I really enjoyed the massive market there. It's crazy. The cathedrals are just insane. A little bit of a river cruise, that kind of thing. But have a look at the vlog I made, because we literally visited every major site in Istanbul that day. So I've just searched Travelvlog Jamie Morella, Turkey and Greece, and you'll see that it's in the first part as well, in case you know, I don't want you scrolling through everything. So hopefully that helps. Simon, thank you. You stayed in the Royal Maritime Hotel. That's right, Simon, in Portsmouth. Thank you. I did say Maritime, didn't I? I got that bit right. Yeah. And I in the vlog, I've mentioned how much it was. It was really very, very reasonable. I've got to say, very reasonable. Ian says, Natasha, we did one on Queen Victoria, was our fave cruise so far. Yeah, I think a Cunard cruise, by the way, around Alaska would be quite awesome. Royal Maritime used to be the home club. Thank you, Emma. I'm glad some of you are so good at this. You remember things that I don't, or you're able to search it really quickly. I really appreciate it. Keep those thumbs up coming, please. Rachel Gargo, we always park at Eastgate. Oh, you do as well. Council run, locked overnight, super cheap. Yeah, that's exactly what I've put in my vlogs about Eastgate when I've been there. Matthew and I have never had an issue there, and it is super cheap. It actually, for us, is within, we can walk to some of the cruise terminals from there, or just get a quick cab. That's all good. Charlie, aren't you flying on a cruise to where? Charlie, I don't know what that means, my love. Could you just clarify? Aren't you flying on a cruise to where? I'm not sure what you mean there, so I'm really sorry. If you message again, and I'll absolutely answer your question. Dawn, Hotel Spica, Portsmouth. Is that a recommendation from Dawn? I didn't know there was a Hotel Spica, actually. So I'm not familiar with that one. Simon, my favourite is Istanbul. I'll let you read that. Thank you, Simon. Much appreciated. Debbie says, well, you lot are great. You know where I've been. I love it. Oh, Tina, big blue box. Hey, Jamie, love your vlogs. Always saying, oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Mark, which vlogs can I watch where you use the local excursion vendors as opposed to those offered? Well, I'm trying to think of the most recent one. Definitely not the Hawaii one. That was because I hadn't been to Hawaii before, and I was unfamiliar with everything, but I found out when I was there. When I've done Northern European cruises, so they will be on MSC. I mean, Matthew and I used Get Your Guide and Be Le Havre when we were there. It really depends on where you're going. Oh, you were talking about the Caribbean. You nearly died when I said £130 per person for the Piton speedboat and barbecue and private beach. I'm going to tell you now, you wouldn't be able to do that tour independently for much less. Absolutely not. You can search on Facebook, by the way, Mark. I just joined a new-ish Caribbean cruise excursions for cruisers on Facebook, and it's a good group actually, and they offer a lot of excursions. And the good thing about it is if you want to dock for whatever reason, or you were late, your excursion money would be refunded or your time would be put back a little bit. So if you just do a search for that, it would work. But otherwise, most of my Northern European vlogs, certainly over the last year, have Matthew and I, or just me, doing things independently, and sometimes not actually needing an excursion. But I dare you to try and get a speedboat to the Piton in St. Lucia with a private beach and a barbecue for less than what you've just put there. I would be very interested. Wouldn't say I don't really have favorites travel with the Dans. I like all the Cunard ships for very different reasons. And I think it depends on the itinerary. Like if I'm doing a transatlantic, when I did Queen Mary 2 could be my favorite. Then the transatlantic was awesome. I loved it. And yet Queen Victoria has a place in my heart as well. When I sailed up to Scotland on her, I think they've all got their pluses. I don't think you've been here before. I don't really deal with favorites as such. It's very hard to have a favorite when you've done over 70 cruises and multiple cruise lines and ships. It's like there's so many amazing ones to choose from. Gigi, I hope I've said your name right. Have you ever done a Mexican Riviera cruise? It's not an option for July at the moment, and I would do one, actually. I'd love to do one. And the reason is the flights are more expensive. I will have a look, having said that, and see if there are any other dates in July that might work, because I would love to do one of those. It'd be nice and scorch that time of year as well, wouldn't it? But yeah, I do agree with you. I think it's something I would like to do at some point. I'd like to fly over to Los Angeles, again, I haven't been for a number of years, and vlog that whole city, or San Diego, which I haven't been to for a long time. Vlog the city, hop on a cruise, something like that would be great. Margaret, got your organized AF bag. Love it. Quick delivery too. Thanks both. Don't thank me. It's Matthew. Matthew does everything with our online travel shop. I'm going to be honest. I don't do any of it. Okay. You've probably noticed I don't even advertise it very much, which is a bit naughty of me. I should do. Travelblogjamie.com is our travel shop, and it's got all sorts of things there, not just necessarily like logo travel blog Jamie kind of thing. It's got all sorts, including candles that Matthew makes himself. He's made candles for years, which is something a lot of people don't know. And he's got, you can't see it, all of his equipment is just down here. And let's have a look what he's working on. Oh yeah, I can see he's got little travel bags which he's going to put logos on and so on. I can see that. Oh, got all sorts of equipment down here. Look at that. Look, I thought that was for your teeth. Apparently it's like cuts little things out. It's got a name. I don't know what it is. He's very clever like that. He's very clever. You're welcome, though. I will pass the message on to him, and you're very welcome. Thank you, Kerry, Royal Maritime Hotel. Hi, Harold. Everyone, it's all comments all scrolled. Help me. I'm back with you. Anne says, what happened? I'm not sure about what. You like Voyager, made decision, wedding on. Oh yeah, Morella Voyager. Morella Voyager is a very nice ship. They've certainly improved Morella Voyager since it first launched, when I found there to be some teething issues, but when I went on it again for the Caribbean cruise, they had improved some of those areas massively, which is great. Little thumbs up, please. That'll be great. It's just up there on my screen. Little thumb. Shout out to Harold from Neighbours. Claire Pringle's song. If you went back to Hawaii, would you do another cruise or would you fly and do more land-based? Oh, I would love to just fly there and do land-based and go between the islands and spend more time. The thing is, if I were to do that solo, it is so expensive. The flight from the UK to Hawaii, Kachingorama, don't mind how long it takes, that's fine. You could break it up as well, of course. Hotels in Hawaii ain't cheap. I don't know if anyone's looked. They're not cheap. And traveling from island to island is not cheap. And also, Hawaii is one of the most expensive states in America. All of that combined makes for a very expensive trip. So I'd love to do it. Nice, good question. The reason I did the cruise, it was because it was like half the price of doing what you're suggesting. I'd love to, Claire. Maybe one day. Absolutely. Harold, how's this deal? I don't know. Morella Cruise and Stay, Crete, Greece, Turkey, 7-night cruise. Of course, food drink is all inclusive. It says all inclusive. There are certain things that are not all inclusive, but hey ho. 4 nights, 5-star all inclusive stay in Crete, 1,600 each. I mean, I think that's good value personally when you've got all your flights included and if you've got 5-star all inclusive in Crete for 4 nights. I personally think that's good. I think it's a great itinerary as well. I've seen that one. There are not many cruise lines that do that kind of itinerary. Personally, I think fab. What kind of cabin is that for, though? That would be a question that I have for you. Let's go. I think you meant Royal Maritime Hotel. I did. Thank you, Geraldine. And as I said, I stay there again, and they have some good deals. Rach and Gar always booked through Igloo. You found them great. There you go. I've had the worst service from them, and some people have had the best. So go for it. I won't be doing it again. Kay, do you collect anything from the places you visit, fridge magnets, etc.? No, I don't. And actually, anything that I bring home with me tends to... Oh, I tell you what I do have. I've got my lace still from Hawaii. That's still there. I don't tend to collect things. Like we live in a 2-bedroom flat and we don't really have a huge amount of space. So if I were to collect things when I travel 2 or 3 times a month, it would get really tricky. So sometimes I just keep one small thing. Sometimes I bring things back knowing that the lovely Instagram community would love it in a giveaway. So I do that. I've got some amazing Disney stuff, actually. Shall I show you what I've got? So I've got 2 Disney caps, by the way. I don't know if you can see them. And this fabulous lanyard / luggage label, however you want to use it. It's really lovely. Signed postcard. And the big bag, and I will apologize. I used this bag. I took it. I got it on the ship. I took it to the beach in the Bahamas, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point in the Bahamas, Disney's private port. I've cleaned it out. So all of that is going. It came back with me, but it's going on an Instagram giveaway, just in case you want to join that or try and win them. I think it's open till 5th of May or something like that. There's still time. So a good question, but I just couldn't. One thing I do bring back as well. I don't know if you can see these postcards for me patrons. They're all written out, ready to go for May, and the rest of them all done, ready. So I know the 4Bs were scathing about Patreon and postcards, and why would you waste your time doing that on a trip? Well, because my patrons like their postcards, as you can see. So I don't know if the 4Bs have a Patreon account, but if they did, I imagine their patrons would love getting those every month. They love them. I like doing them as well. And there's no hardship to go to a shop and buy some postcards. Just take a little bit of time to count them all out. Nice question, Kay. I've not been on Norwegian Escape Rob, so I can't comment on that, I'm afraid. I've only ever been on Norwegian Joy. That was my first and only Norwegian cruise line ship. and I enjoyed it very much. That was just a couple months ago. I'd like to sail with them again, definitely. Gloucestershire said that is awful, Howard. £1,600 for all of that. I would disagree if that's what you're saying. Sorry, Gloucestershire. I don't think that's awful at all when you've got 5-star accommodation for 4 nights after it, personally, and your flights, etc. Oh, Jennifer, I don't do favourites. You can only cruise on one cruise line for the rest of your life. Which do you choose? Well, you'll have to give me more information. Cruising where? That's very important as to which I would choose. So I'm going to throw that back at you, Jennifer. You're going to have to tell me where, and then I'll answer your question. Okay. Dawn likes celebrity cruises around Alaska. I'm going to disagree with what Gloucestershire said there. It's not just for the cruise. Just to comment again, he said there's also a 5-star hotel after that. So I think that's really good personally, but we all have different ideas. And actually, the boutique cruise lines don't often go for that price. I'm always looking at the boutique cruise lines, and you've got to be very lucky to get that. I know Asmara had a deal when you went on, but I haven't found one at all, and I'm always looking. Sorry, we can disagree. We can still love each other and disagree. And Simon is giving Holiday Have some advice. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Keep those thumbs up coming, please. Thank you very much. Don't know why. Harold, I think I've said what I think about that price. Let's keep going. We've got Holiday Have still talking with Simon. Question from DSA 1998. Would you consider a trip to Korea and or Japan? Yes, absolutely would. And I have been looking at those as well. Just haven't found the right price yet for them. But I'd like to do that. I would definitely want to spend time land-based there as well. Yes, Natasha, I have done a British Isles cruise. I did it in the summer. It's all vlogged. It was with Princess. If you just search travel blog Jamie, Regal Princess, British Isles, there are 4 vlogs because I did a huge amount. It was amazing. My deal was really good, but I booked it a little bit later, a bit closer to the time. I also find the British Isles cruises can be pricier because you'll find a very international passenger base for that. You know, for Princess and their British Isles cruise, you know, they're flying people in from around the world. On the one I did, there were a lot of American, Australian passengers as well, which was great. It was such a nice mix of people. I loved it. So yeah, just search Travelblog Jamie, Regal Princess, British Isles. There are 4 in total. Loved it. Right, let's keep going. I feel like I'm gonna miss people. I don't mean to miss anybody out. No, I missed it again. Audrey says Matthew is amazing with the travel shop. Such great service. He's very, very efficient, isn't he? He's very quick. He does well with that. Absolutely. Rachel and Gargo, question, simple one here. 1, best pizza. 2, best coffee. Best cocktails at sea. Best pizza at sea. I was a real fan of the pizza on Costa Cruises. I do like the pizza on MSC Cruises very much. Princess also do very good pizza. They're my top 3. Oh, Virgin Voyages, they're not bad either, but I think those other 3 are better. And certainly Costa and MSC do much more authentic pizzas, which I love. Best coffee, I have to say, I don't feel there's a best coffee at sea. I do quite like Sir Samuel's coffee shop on Queen Mary 2. I'm partial to anything there, but they serve it on a silver tray, so I think I'm just like focused on the shiny bits and not so worried about the coffee. Yeah, I don't feel like there's the best coffee at sea. Not that I've had. Give me a Lavazza and I'm fine. Best cocktails at sea. See, I only ever drink the same cocktails because most cocktails have too much sugar in for me. So I think I'm the worst person to ask for that. I enjoyed the cocktails in the champagne bar on board Virgin Voyages. Is it called Sip or something? The cocktails there were very, very good indeed. The cocktails on Disney in the adults only bars are awesome. There you go. I'm going to go with those two if you don't mind. Simon and Hev talking. Harold and Lost Shore talking. Emma asks, are you doing any more river cruising? Would highly recommend an Egyptian cruise. The only thing with the Egyptian cruise for me is that for a solo, they were very pricey. I have looked. I will keep looking. So the answer to that is yes, I would like to do another river cruise. Absolutely. I was thinking Vietnam for a river cruise as well. Emma, what do you reckon? Emma is going on a cruise around Australia as well, aren't you? Next year. Before me as well. She's going to get in there before me. Harold, thanks, Jamie. Struggling to beat it at the moment. Yeah, if you are looking to travel around that same time and you don't have the luxury of flexibility of time, and that's coming out as one of the best value, then there you go. There's not much you can do about that if you are fixed to certain times, I'm afraid. That's kind of like how I feel a bit about this summer. So I'm not going to travel as much this summer as a result. Paul, I won't be going on Icon of the Seas anytime soon, but at some point, yes, their prices are astronomical and even worse for solos. Although I am going on Independence of the Seas again in June and Symphony of the Seas from New Jersey in September. So I have got 2 Royal Caribbean cruises ready in the bank. I'm really sorry if I've missed anyone. Diane says, have you ever considered doing a safari? I have. It's somewhere in the middle of my list of things I want to do. So yes, I've considered it. I have looked at prices actually more recently. It's something that is on the schedule for another year, maybe. It looks great. Ian, love your postcards, which arrived today. You're very welcome, Ian. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Jennifer, how about Europe and Asia? Which line? I don't think it matters for Europe. I really don't. If you've watched all my vlogs, you'll have seen all of those cruise lines. And I would go ask you and say, if you've watched the vlogs, which of those cruise lines do you like the look of most? Because most of them do Europe. Absolutely. If I were doing Asia, I'd want a ship that has lots of outdoor spaces, as simple as that. Peter said he's just got off Preziosa, followed your blog, which we thoroughly enjoyed. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed. Harold says gratitude. You're welcome for that. Would I go to North Korea as a tourist? It's not on my list of places to go at the moment, if I'm honest. No. But never say never. Jane, where would you like to move to? So we would move a little bit further south, although we're very, very south here, I get, and somewhere with ocean views or ocean nearby. I'm from Devon and Plymouth. I grew up by the sea. Matthew and I actually lived in Worthing for a couple of years. We loved being by the sea. So we're probably going to go down to Bournemouth as well this week, to the beach on Wednesday. It's Matthew's day off, and I'm going to try and clear the decks. So probably, to be honest with you, around anywhere between Southampton and Bournemouth, and in the other direction, east, as far as Worthing, somewhere along that whole strip, probably. Got to be easy to get to Southampton. Wonder why. Got to be easy to get to London Heathrow and or Gatwick. That's important because I do it so often. So yes, thank you for asking. Someone else asked that a bit earlier, actually. I mentioned it to Matthew. Put a good word in for me. Matthew, why don't you move soon? You're married. Don't apologize for being late ever. You're always welcome, of course. Rachel Gargo is saying, the virtual digital world that we live in, there is something wonderful about having a physical postcard. Yeah, I think so too. And some of my patrons have actually sent me postcards, and I hadn't received a postcard for years, and I thought it was just lovely. So thank you. Keep those thumbs up coming, please. We're not at the 200 mark today. Oh, gosh, my self-esteem is going to hit the floor. Holiday Have. We loved our Virgin Voyages cruise last year. First ever cruise. Oh, wow. That's a way to start. Definitely. Have I ever done an escorted trip via like Riviera travel? I haven't actually done an escorted trip. That wouldn't be a no from me. I would consider it, certainly. Simon loves postcards as well. Still sends physical letters to friends and family around the world. I love that. You know what? When I was growing up, being the youngest of my family, I used to write to everyone in my family all the time. And then when I moved to university up in Bradford, I wrote to everyone all the time. I lived in Spain. I lived in France. I wrote to everyone all the time. I'm a big fan of that as well. Emma, a Vietnam cruise, river cruise sounds, yeah, let's do it together. Let's go. Shout out to Rona, Carl's mum. Hi, Rona. Sarah, which Independence of the Seas cruise are you doing? Hoping it's the Eurovision 3-night Bruges cruise. I don't think it is, actually. It's somewhere around the 7th of June. It's on my schedule, which is on my Facebook page, in case you want to have a peep. Devon Detcher, where would you say a German or French river cruise is best for a Virgin River cruise like me? You mean starting point, end point? I don't know if you watched my river cruise of the Rhine over Christmas, but there's your starting point with all the answers there and so many ports of call along the way. Just search Travelblog Jamie, Tui, Maya, Christmas river cruise, the Rhine, words like that. It'll come up, I promise you. Otherwise, it was in January, so only a few months ago. Emma, maybe to Smelly Old Southampton. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we've talked about. We actually looked at properties in Southampton when we were going to get a little holiday home or studio. And I'm glad we didn't actually move forward with that, because I think what I'm doing now would have looked very, very different. So, but I'm ready to do something like that. I am definitely. Would I like a 19-week-old dashund? No. Oh, I bet Darcy is testing Mama and Papa Tisa's patience, and yeah, those little pups, they make a lot of noise, don't they? I know they are gorgeous though, but no, thank you. We need lower key pets. Ian says writing letters and postcards has become a lost art. Well, tell that to some of the cruise vloggers who thinks it's a waste of time. Tell them that. Jennifer, what's the best time to book? Cruise critic people often talk about launch. Cruise bloggers talk about wave season. I worry about booking 2 years out. The launch sometimes is great, but it depends on the cruise line. I mean, I don't know which cruise line, Jennifer, you're talking about. I don't personally book at the launch now, although Fred Olsen, if you're a solo passenger at launch, and for I think it's 4 weeks, you won't pay any supplement as a solo passenger if you book within the first 4 weeks of them launching. So from that point of view, I could see why someone would do the launch. You have to just, I always say this, it's not about launch, it's not about a specific time. It's about looking at prices generally for all sorts of ships, for cruise lines, at the time you want to go. And you can then work out whether your price is a good one, because there's another cruise line out there doing a very similar itinerary to you, or the same kind of night. So I don't operate like that for best time of year ever. I operate on, I have a window I'd like to cruise from. I'm going to filter on Igloo and see everything that's there. I'm going to look at best value against where actually I think I'd like to be going. So I'm really sorry. I'm not like other cruise bloggers in that case. And I'm certainly not like the cruise critic people. And I'm not trying to be awkward or different. I just don't work like that. I don't actually think that's the case. Sometimes they can launch it and the prices go up. Sometimes they launch it and the prices go down. Sometimes they fluctuate like a roller coaster all year. Sometimes you can get a last minute deal, a brilliant price, like on some of the Morella ones I saw in March. Sometimes the price shoots up even more because they're so popular. Sometimes they sell out. There's no rhyme or reason with that, in my personal opinion. SGC, hi Jamie, hope you're okay. I'm really okay, thank you. We always love all your vlogs, thank you very much. Really enjoyed your latest Disney cruise, thank you very much. And stay in Fort Lauderdale, thank you very much. I did as well, I loved it. Big hugs to you and Matthew, Sean and Paul, and big hugs back to both of you. Let's have a big group bear hug, that would be gorgeous, I'd love that. Pam, I know you like Center Parks. Yeah, I haven't edited that vlog yet. I will be doing that over the next couple of weeks. Would you consider anywhere else for holiday in the UK? I would consider it. The question is where? What am I going to do? What's going to keep me active and seeing a lot? That doesn't involve me driving. That's my question back to you. Any ideas? Great. I am going up to Scotland, as I said last week, to see my niece and her husband and I got this wrong last time. Great nephew. That's right, isn't it? That's what we call them. I'm going up on the Caledonian Sleeper, and I've booked one of the club cabins. So I'll be traveling overnight on the train, and I've got room service, and there's a club cabin to have dinner and drinks and breakfast, etc. So, and then we're going to do a bit of sightseeing. Okay, so that counts, doesn't it? And then I'm coming back on a train that's direct to London, and I'm going first class. I almost never pay extra on transportation, but it was a very good deal. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be getting a train from Scotland to London, and it's a good deal, and I get fed and watered as well, I get club lounge access at the station, I'm going to try it out. So I'm going to film those. I've only ever filmed one train journey. I think that was Eurostar. And train journeys have an audience. Of course they do. And it was interesting to see their comments. So I think it was a decent vlog. I'm going to do better on the next one. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Holiday Hub, I totally recommend living by the sea. Best move I ever made 5 years ago. Watford to Weymouth. Yes, definitely. I get that. Yeah, I miss living by the sea. I really do. You know, growing up by the sea, I was in Plymouth for 18 years before moving away to do other things. And I miss that. Even Worthing. I quite like Worthing. I think it's got a bit of a weird vibe, but I liked living there a lot, and I love being by the sea. Absolutely. Okay, travel with the marks. Oh gosh, it's over an hour. We'll have 5 more minutes. Okay, please do keep those thumbs up coming. I would love that. Travel with the marks. Hi Jamie. Came across your channel when I was looking for vlogs regarding Cunard Queen Anne because my husband and I just booked on Queen Anne's World Cruise. Oh wow, that's amazing. Next January to May. I hope you have a great time. Let us know how you get on, and I hope the vlogs were useful. Linda, hi Jamie, I want to say a big thanks for all your advice. We did the Rotterdam, Le Havre, etc. cruise with MSC Preziosa. Managed to do all the things you told us about. Brilliant. Please, someone was asking earlier about not doing excursions, paying a fortune, and Linda will attest to this. That cruise, Matthew and I didn't spend a fortune on excursions, etc. We did things very independently. We got to do an awful lot, as I'm so pleased to see Linda did as well. Michelle, I know you've done a cruise from Tilbury. Would you recommend it for first-time cruiser? Only if it's near to you. If it's not near to you, like me, it's a ball ache. But it's also important that cruise ships use different ports around the country and world. I get that. For me, it's a ball ache. There was nothing wrong with the cruise terminal at Tilbury at all. It was nice. It was very pleasant. But get into it from here, So I won't be looking forward to doing that journey again. But if you live nearby, it doesn't matter whether you're a first-time cruiser or not. If you can get there, and you can get there easily enough, do it. Awesome. People saying this makes sense. Thank you very much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm trying to get through as many as I can in the next 3 minutes. Linda, P.S. Can't understand why you don't like Cunard Sun Lounges. They are so comfy. Okay, I don't even remember that saying that. Which Cunard ship in particular are we talking about? Tell me. Europe and Beyond vlogs. Morel Explorer for us Friday from Corfu. Adriatic. I do love a bit of Adriatic cruising, I must say, and I do love Corfu. It's such a beautiful island. Vicky, Mama Tees wants me to say you can move to Southampton with a properly with a driveway, and she can be cheeky and park on there when you go to cruising. Oh yeah, I could make some money. I never thought about that. Will you please thank Mama Tees for me? She's given me a great business idea now. How did I begin the vlogging industry? Oh gosh, I haven't got time to talk about that now. I'm really sorry. I did talk about it in last week's live. Or come back the next time, or have a look at Travel Blog Jamie. There's a vlog I did when I gave up teaching. It's like I quit or something like that. That has some information about it. But I don't have time to go into all that right now because I've got 2 minutes and that would take me too long. So apologies for that, but we can do it another time. Angela's LNER, Yorkshire to Edinburgh. First class is worth it. Good to hear. Are we still going to do a group zip line, says Cheryl, in North Wales? Maybe. Yeah, trains are passing as I'm talking about trains. It is the way here. Kate and Ryan. Oh, that Kate and Ryan. Now I know who we're talking about. I'm sorry. Ryan says, would you be able to film him on the pilot boats when he disembarks one of your pilots from a cruise ship? Yeah. You've seen my schedules as well on Facebook and Instagram. So just let me know. It's absolutely fine. I would happily do that. Is he going to actually stand there waving and get a flag or something, or a sign, Travel Blog Jamie? That would make it even more special for me. Other people doing Preziosa, more people going on Preziosa. We've got thumbs up going. Thank you very much for that. We're into our last minute or so. Queen Victoria wooden lounges. Oh, no, they're not comfy. No, my darling. Certainly the ones that I had would not move, not budge an inch. And no, they look gorgeous though, but they weren't comfy for me. No, sorry. I know exactly the ones you mean now. They were not very maneuverable, let's say, the ones that I tried out. I'm going to have to wrap up. Someone's just said, should we go Morella? I don't know. Have you had a look at my Morella vlogs? Did you look at my Morella Caribbean vlogs? That's the first place to start to see if you'd like to go or not. I book to get a good deal. This is what I was saying before. It's not about when I book to get a good deal. I do searches and filters on Igloo for a whole time period, and then I filter by price. I don't look to get good deals. It doesn't work for me and my timetable. Okay, he will do that. Brilliant. Okay, that's it. Boom, boom, boom. Right, it is nice to spend quality time with you. I'm going to try and do a pop-up from MSC Virtuosa next week, or one of the ports. So look out for that. I don't give you much notice. I'm sorry. That's why it's a pop-up. But you can also watch on replay as well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience with me trying to get through everyone's questions. Much appreciated. Have a lovely week, whatever you get up to. Be good. You're not going to be. I will rephrase that. Be fabulous. And don't forget, I love all of you up there. Middle row. Everyone down the bottom. I don't love you. You need to wash your clothes. They're filthy. Bye, everybody. Lots of love. Take care. Thank you so much for your continued support. You rock. You really do. You're awesome.